Hi, this is Arik,
And Aurelia,
and we're here to talk about life and interesting things.
or so we think, but in the end, you'll be the judge of it.
Either way, what we have to talk about is
Ageless!
So my first question for you today, Aurelia, is, well, I guess I need to give it some preface because there's like this saying that a lot of people say, like, and I don't really like the saying very much, but like, for example, I've heard it in yoga class, I've read it in articles, I've heard it in all kinds of different spiritual situations where people say, let go of anything that doesn't serve you. Or if you're saying it as yourself, like, I let go of anything that doesn't serve me. What does that mean?
I don't know, that's probably trying to get an easy way out, because the truth is you don't have to let go of anything, because once you have changed so that you do not need something in your life anymore to reflect back a certain quality or situation that you have to look at within yourself, then things usually disappear. So then there you let go.
Have you ever heard the saying? Or come across it?
Not really, just like let go and let God.
No. That's not what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a modern New Age saying. Like, for me, the way I understand it, and when the energy of it is like people just get rid of things that can take them out of their comfort zone, or who decides what doesn't serve? Because for me, everything serves me, even if I don't like it, because it's part of like my development.
Yeah, I think that's what I said.
Yeah, of course.
Mm.
But I'm just saying, like, you can't really pick and choose what serves you. I mean, of course, unless, like, if you go to a restaurant, you can't pick your waiter.
You can go to a different restaurant.
But yes, you can, but then you do that. I mean, you can pick the waiter, like, if it's your friend or something, you say, oh, I want so-and-so, but then you have to, like, sit in their section and stuff like that. But, like, whoever's there is going to serve you. And even if you don't like the person, like, say they're triggering you, then it's still serving you. So I just feel like, this whole saying is just, like, really... It never sat right with me in the first place. And I just feel like it has to be cleared up that everything is service. Like, everything is serving you, even if you don't like it.
Yeah, I agree.
And, like, if you're getting rid of something that isn't serving you, then what are you doing?
You cannot. That's what I tried to say when I first answered the question, that, you cannot get rid of things. It's like...
Yeah, I don't think you're
fantasy.
understanding. I don't think you're understanding.
Because whatever it is will come back to you in a different form.
Mm-hmm.
So you cannot.
That's a good message, but I think a lot of people are not aware of that, because it says, okay, like, this relationship isn't serving me, or this product isn't serving me, and I don't think that it's serving me, so that I get rid of it. That's how people do it. That's how they understand it. And then they get rid of it. It's like, I don't need that. Stuff like all these kinds of things. Like, what is that attitude? Like,
yeah, that attitude is just like finding an easy way out to not be responsible. But as long as, there is something that triggers you about a situation or a person or even a product, you can fool yourself into thinking that you get rid of it, but you cannot. You have to change it within yourself, and then it will disappear.
How does that work?
How's that working, that it then disappears?
No, like, yeah, I don't care any part of that. Like, start from scratch, like, however. How does it work? Start anywhere. Any of it. How does any of it work?
Well, first of all...
Like, how does it not disappear? And then how, like, you know, how does it keep coming back? And then once, you know, then you change, you know, just start there.
Well, because, you know, if somebody thinks like they have to get rid of something, that means they're attached to that in one way or the other.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means they have an investment into either loving or hating that thing.
They have an investment into either loving or hating that thing, and that's an attachment. An investment into loving or hating that thing.
Mm-hmm.
Investment, people always want to get a return of investment, right? Because otherwise it'd be like charity. And then that's not an attachment.
Yeah, like they're invested.
So an investment is that they want something back, so they have a hidden agenda. They have an agenda, maybe it's not even hidden, but in most cases it is. Like, there's an agenda to get
something.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So there's an investment, there is an attachment, there is a...
Let's say then I don't get what I want, then I probably will tell myself I don't need that, and then, you know, I want to get rid of it.
Because you didn't get the love, or you didn't get the whatever the other thing was?
Hatred.
The hatred, because it's just energy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's vampire again. Okay? So whatever's not serving me, then we can just fast forward to whatever I can't suck energy from.
Yeah, in a way. Mm-hmm. And because
Intense.
if I...
It's like you're not feeding my ego, so you are not serving me.
So because...
I mean, this is really helpful for people because I'm telling you, this is a huge meme. Like, it's a really big meme. Like, this is part of this whole cancel culture. Whatever doesn't serve me, whatever doesn't serve my identity, whatever doesn't serve... But it makes sense now. It's about... ego sucking energy.
But here we have it. See, this is a really great example. Like, I think 2 weeks ago was the first time I even heard about a cancel culture.
Oh, really?
Because this is not part of my reality.
Oh, yeah.
This doesn't show up in my field because I have no investment in that. Which means, like, I'm not acting in that way, and maybe people are acting that way towards me, but that would never occur to me. I do not perceive it in that way.
Yeah, like if you're not serving them, then they dump you.
Yeah, well...
Like theoretically, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, fine. Then I know I didn't serve them, they dumped me, whatever. Like... I let them spin in their reality, remember?
Episode 1.
Yes. And so for me, this is entirely inconsequential. So I do not even a little bit know what that means. I mean, now obviously I know because I got educated about it.
So what is it then anyway? Just so that, you know, maybe for other people who don't know what it is.
Like you just said, if something doesn't serve me, or if something doesn't perform, or something is different from the way I would like it, then I reject it and avoid it, or like if it's a product, I boycott it, or, you know, stuff like that. And then like that product, that person, that situation, this is cancelled.
Right.
Now for me, this really doesn't work because everything serves me, like you said.
Yeah.
And if something seriously, honest to God, really doesn't serve me, it's not in my reality, because that's not how reality is built.
Yeah, so then going back to, like, to the first question, then if you try to get rid of, like, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. And if you try to if you try to cancel something, it's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Because the universe will recycle the reality back in, because that's the way that the way that it is. Like, everything is always coming back. Like, we have this concept of, like, the returning energy is always coming back.
Yes. Always.
Like, from my elements class, I taught about this. It's always coming back. Like, in a way, you
like
could say
water
karma.
is like such a good example for it,
Water, yeah.
Like the circle of water, or the cycle of water.
Yeah, the clouds, to the rain.
Like, to the rain, into the earth, into the plant, and the plant exudes it once again, and then,
then
clouds.
We have the humidity like we do here today.
Yeah, or like in the rainforest, the more plants. Whatever, so... things are not being cancelled, but they are recycled. That's for sure.
Yeah, but people get this false sense of, like, oh, like, I'm empowered and I've gotten rid of... I canceled it. So therefore I've used my free will. But I guess what you're saying, like, of course it comes back.
Well... I can only say, there are many, many people out there that are very, very misguided. And, they think they are being empowered, but really they are just being distracted and led down a path of ignorance. And the Buddhist high road, I call it, is to say, well, without ignorance we wouldn't need enlightenment. So... one day, maybe when a situation repeats itself over and over and over and over and over again, there will be that moment of, hey, maybe I cannot get rid of that. Maybe this is serving me in one way or the other. And I mean, let's be honest, like, you experience this all the time. Like, people... like, they think they are so enlightened and they know everything. And then, they never take any of your classes. They never want to work with you. But guess what? They are feeling bad. Guess who they call? You. Say, hey, please tell me what's happening. I'm feeling like shit. It's, and that's the downside of this, thinking I can get rid of things that do not serve me.
Yeah, it's like punishing.
Yeah, but the universe has a way of bringing your stuff back to your doorstep. There's like no way around that. And once you really don't need it anymore, I mean... doesn't serve me anymore in the truest sense of the word.
Which is?
That I have resolved whatever it was that, I was attached to. I'm not attached to it anymore. Then it will not show up in my reality.
I mean, as always, your answer has created 50 questions. And I feel like I have to probably address them in different podcasts. I'm, like, writing them down now. But it's like, wow.
But that's good, because, without questions, there is no forward movement. Because posting a question is admitting that... I do not know something.
Yeah.
I have to ask. Oh my God. And this is already opening our minds if we dare to admit that we are not all knowing yet.
Yeah, but they're okay.
So 50 questions.
Let's take a quick break and then we'll get into that a little bit more. This episode of Ageless is brought to you by Speechless, our really powerful, off the charts insight into what's going on deeper levels. We release intense episodes once a month, and we have different packages. for you to listen to, so please check it out. Just look for Speechless on Patreon. Okay, so one thing I do want to say, like, when I just want to speak to what you said, like, you know, people, they don't sign up for my classes, or they don't think they need to sign up for my classes or whatever, and then they want to suck my energy or whatever, they reach out to me like when they need help, like when they're in a really desperate place. It's funny because I always say that about people with you too. Like, they always know where to go when they're in real deep SHIT.
Yeah.
But like, I try to get people, when I'm working with them, to a place where they move away from this like crisis healing and into like this Aufbau energy, like going from crisis emergency sessions to prevention, and then into like responsibility, like really working on your stuff and not working on the shells that surround the stuff. And that takes a lot of trust, it takes a lot of commitment, and also courage. And also it's really interesting because
honesty,
health, because I work with a lot of health goals and on all levels. It's like health is a spiritual responsibility, but like we as a society just tend to only take care of it once we have a problem, like on any level, whether it's like financial wealth, love, wealth, health, like whatever, like health in any area. So like, yeah, like to move away, because I think like when you like cancel, I feel like when it comes back, it's not as gentle as it was the first time.
No, that's why it says in psychology, you know, you can change with the butterfly wing on your cheek, or once the Mack truck hits you.
Oh my god. Oh. Okay, so then, very interesting, because if you then, so I just wanted to say that to what you said there, and to the other thing you were talking about. So I guess like we have to be appreciative for these things that don't serve us, because like, yeah, they'll disappear once we're done with it, and then we won't even like think about wanting it to disappear or whatever.
Yeah, because they're gone. Like, you do not see it as a thing anymore.
Oh, now, yes. But also, like, you were talking about, like, when we ask questions and we have to say that we don't know, but then there is also this other side of that coin, or the other side of that spectrum, that's like where we then pretend to be stupid and not know things.
Which is not an honest question.
That's not an honest...
a distraction.
What is that?
That's always, you know, this is like an avoidance of responsibility.
Because you have to be really humble to ask a question.
Yes, and I was only addressing that, you know, to really have honest to God questions, like you said. Like, my answers, they opened the door to many questions, and then this obviously is good. But if I want to avoid responsibility and I play stupid thinking that then this will impress anybody, then you know, that of course is just another way of avoidance, and it's not gonna get me anywhere.
Like trying to pretend to be humble.
Yeah.
But really you're so stuffed of being a know-it-all that you wouldn't even know if humility smacked you with the semi. God forbid. But what about like also the opposite then, like, so we let go of things that don't serve us, quote unquote. But what about like holding on to things that don't serve us, but like actually don't serve us? Or is that impossible then?
That's impossible. Because if you're still holding on to something that, you know, let's say a bad quality or a bad habit or whatever, you know, you're holding on to it because you have not learned the lesson. and have not taken responsibility yet.
Or you're afraid to change.
Yeah, that would be part of, taking responsibility and learning the lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Because life has changed. I mean, life has changed. Haha, that's true. But life is change. You are not the same person you were like 20 minutes ago when we started the podcast.
No. And
Because
speaking actually of life has changed, I think it's a really good segue because I just worked on a new corona forecast astrological report.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to close out the podcast with that and talk a little bit about it. It hasn't been published yet, but just as a little preview, it's like I started it off like saying, like we as a collective, we've been here before, and we'll be here again.
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
true. Because it's like the questions that I always get, really since day one, is like, when is this going to end? And in a nutshell, I mean, I talk about it extensively. I mean, we have a really intense astrological transits coming up for the rest of the year. Please check out the article. But like, people always ask me, when is it going to end? And I feel like, based what I've read with the stars, is like I do feel and see that some of it has ended, but at the same time it won't end. Like the changes are permanent. But like the madness,
life has changed.
that the madness is more or less gonna be ending, by the end of the year or whatnot. Or it already has ended, like that energy of plague, more or less, but the effects permanent.
So we're not gonna have the next apocalyptic horsemen show up, like the genocide. We avoided that.
I'm only talking corona.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And
yes.
and I do go into the article talking about how one thing is connected to another, but I'm only talking about corona right now.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
It's two completely different and connected things. Because I always said from day one, when plague is released on the earth, then we have to all be very careful. But I do feel that whatever energy was unleashed, mission accomplished.
Yes, 100%.
But it's like, it's like when there's... Yeah, go ahead.
Or, the beginning has been accomplished.
The beginning is accomplished.
Yeah.
It's like, when there's impact and it creates huge waves, that's done. The wave is done, but now the adjustment, the ripples, the everything that comes because of that, like the shaking is done, but the wave will be felt and change, and that's permanent.
Well, so in keeping with our podcast today, then Corona must still serve us.
That's right.
Because it is still there.
I can tell you how it does, actually.
I'd like to hear that.
Yeah, because I've been thinking a lot about that. This is really beautiful how you bring it full circle. It's like, as we have been in quarantine, more or less, depending on which country you are. I mean, we were all in quarantine at some point, and all these different restrictions that have been placed on us, because remember, we're supposed to be restricting all the time. And so many of us have really felt that our freedoms have been taken away from us. We are really given the opportunity and forced to be present with what matters.
Yes.
And that is what serves us. We cannot be so much distracted by material and the economy, because that's what put us in this mess in the first place. And everyone just wants to go back to that.
Yeah, those days are over.
But these days are over, and this is then how this energy serves us. It gives us this opportunity to really change within ourselves, to make changes, because now is a good time to make changes, because everything is changing. That is, of course, the other side to it, and this is just one aspect that I see that serves us, that it really gives us this opportunity to make these adjustments, which we wouldn't normally be able to do in a fast-paced world. You know, and also kind of to disturb our rat in the maze, hamster on the wheel mentality, to kind of say like, hey, you know, what is this all about?
Yeah. Wow. Intense times, I can say that.
And also unique because it's, you know, not going to happen again.
No.
And not in the way that you think.
Not, yeah.
You know, not in the, it's like because, you know, we only have so many, you know, so much time.
Not for our lifetime, that's what I wanted to say, but as a collective, you know, it will happen again, like in Battlestar.
Yeah,
like
and
thousands of years.
And that's a perfect example, like, all the things that we wanted to get rid of came back as Corona. 100%. And everything else from that.
Yep.
And everything else about, you know, all the horizontal movements that are going on, all the horrible things, it's still all just distraction.
Yes, 100%.
Because that, of course, is the ultimate entertainment. And this has been Arik.
And Aurelia. And Saya.
And Saya, too.
Because I have to say, Saya, she loves those podcasts because she's been stuffed with leckerlis, which she normally doesn't get to keep her quiet.
Did you want to say one more thing, though?
No.
But the entertainment?
Yeah, I did. He just cannot help himself and stay out of my head, right? Because I wanted to say, well, I plan on talking extensively about that in our next Speechless episode.
Can't wait.
I have it prepared already, and it's about the entertainment and how it is hiding what's really going on.
So find that subscribe button, hit it, and listen to what we have to say.
But for today...
You've just listened to an episode of Ageless. Thanks, guys. Be sure to subscribe and find us on Apple, Google, YouTube, or everywhere where podcasts are available. And until next time, we say bye.